The title Hang Time was originally inspired by the Hang Time roller coaster at Knott's Berry Farm in California that artist Carla Falb explores in her densely layered oil paintings. And I further like the play on that idea, thinking about surf culture, which inform and inspire four of the artists in this exhibition, including Julie Goldstein, Jason Woodside, Mark Tessie, and Ben Junta, as well as the idea of relaxing, being outside, and literally getting more time to hang with family and friends, which summer is all about. The connective thread of artists from California comes from my personal interest in the contrast and connection between artists from both East Coast and West Coast. I want to give everyone in the audience just a really quick tour of the show, as some of you have not been in yet to see it, or you're out of the area and you won't actually get to see the installation. I was sharing with one of the artists that, gosh, over 23 years, I've curated probably close to 1,000 exhibitions, and I love group shows because of a lot of the overlap in language and ideas and contrast. And this is probably one of my most favorite installations, which you're going to see. There's a lot of really great work in the show. So Julie is going to give a quick, there's no sound to it, it's just a quick tour. We're going to walk you through, just take a peek so you can see the installation, pretend you're walking in the gallery with us. This is the front of my space looking out towards Washington Square Park. We're going to go left and you're going to see Ben Junta's beautiful landscape paintings. And then as we pan through his works, I have a long, old-fashioned, beautiful, narrow gallery. My building was built in 1799. There's Carla Falb's work, Mark Tessie's beautiful photographs on the left, Holly Wong's installation, which we're going to swing back around. We're looking at Carla Falb's work again. Haru Manzoor's mixed media pieces, and then as we head to the back gallery, beautiful installation of Julie Goldstein's woodcuts. On the left, Jason Woodside's 3 48-inch paintings with beautiful pattern. We're going to come back around the gallery, and you'll see Ray Beldner's 3 mixed media sculptural pieces. And then a really interesting and very cool rock quality created of collage. So next up is Carla Falb. And Carla was raised in Philadelphia and spent her summers at the Jersey Shore. She received a BFA from the Philadelphia College of Art, now the University of the Arts, and a certificate in painting from the Pennsylvania Academy of Fine Arts in 1983. 20 years later, Falb returned to UArts for her MFA, where she began a series of oil paintings based on roller coaster structures. In 2017, Falb relocated to Orange County and is currently a tenured professor at Fullerton College. Carla recently said, in high school, when I decided to become an artist, my choice was driven by a strong desire to work in a tangible medium where I could explore existential questions. Now I see my art making as a metaphysical journey that connects the complexities of our physical existence with the emotional, spiritual realm from a pop culture perspective. Really well said. Carla, I love the roller coaster imagery. And could you share, I know we've talked a lot over the years about the imagery and the metaphor of it. And could you share some of your stories about how you kind of walked into this idea and literally put yourself in the work to create it?
Sure, yeah. So it's a lot to unpack there. So to backtrack a little bit, my interest in, metaphysics and spirituality came from my father, who was a Methodist minister, but he was also a bit of a mystic. And when I entered the academy, I wanted to do so to learn how to paint representationally in order to paint my dreams and my visions. But then when I went back to grad school at age 40, and I went to University of the Arts after being an abstract artist for years, And also I did ceramic sculpture for a while. I started painting still lifes again, working with one of the gallery artists, Eileen Neff, who was my mentor. And after the still lifes, I started painting, making paintings, looking out a window. And so in the studio in Philadelphia, those of you who know the Kimmel Center and you know where University Arts is located, my studio had a great view of the Kimmel Center when they were building it. And the workmen were running up those curved steel beams, inserting glass panels into the roof. And I was painting it, and I was painting it, you know, very meticulously, and I was getting back into realism again. And I thought, boy, that looks like a roller coaster ride. And what would it be like to paint roller coasters? And I thought that was the most ridiculous idea ever. That was back in 2002. And then that actually became my thesis. So what I learned pretty quickly, in order to get the feeling that I wanted to convey, I needed to base all my imagery off of my own photos. My husband and I started riding in the front car of the roller coasters and taking pictures. So this was back in the day before iPhones, before GoPros, and we weren't allowed to take photos. So we would bring in disposable cameras, and I would have little overalls, and I would hide them in the front pocket of my overalls. And then once the ride started, I would hand the camera to my husband because I was too terrified to let go. And so I would direct him and tell him where to take photos. Anyway, after a few years of doing that, he had a great idea. He said, Carla, you know, you should rig that camera up somehow and put it in a pocket so you can just like on your shirt, so you can just like turn it on and like go on the ride and shoot a video and record it as you go. He should have invented the GoPro, but anyway, that's what we started doing. So recording videos, riding in the front car of the roller coaster. And up until about 2012, I had only painted roller coasters, the rides during the daytime. And the crazy thing happened was I was on a ride in Disney called California Screamin', which is now the other coaster that I painted. But anyway, I traveled to California from New Jersey, not knowing that I would, in 10 years later, be like living basically down the street from these roller coasters. And we went on California Screaming, and I thought I had my little camera in my little pocket that I made, and I thought that I had turned it on, and then I zipped my pocket closed. Well, by now you all figured out what happened. I turned my camera off. So when I went to check the video after the ride, there was no video. And you know how horrendous lines are at amusement parks. So I had to sign up for, you could sign up for a time to take the ride. So I ended up riding California Screamin' at night. And I thought, oh, geez, you know, what kind of painting, what kind of images are they going to get at night on a roller coaster ride? This is like totally wasted. I was really bummed. It turns out that that was like the start of something that was that is huge, and it kind of took me back to what I began painting for. So it's been like it's definitely been like a roller coaster for me with my journey painting. But what happened when I moved to California, that was like right after my mom died in 2017. I was really uninspired. I was grieving my mom's death. I had left a long-term job. I left all my friends in New Jersey to start this new life in California. And that's when I met Bridgette. And she really helped me find go back to my original inspiration in my work, which was the light shining through the darkness. So some of my earliest abstract work was all about light shining through the darkness, which was taken from a couple of visions that I had in my early 20s. And now I'm combining that and my roller coaster series. And so a lot of the paintings involve light streams. And so the light streams are like kind of happened by total accident when I was riding the roller coaster on Santa Monica Pier at night. And as Bridget and I were looking at some of my photo references, they were the only photos at the time, if I zoomed in really, really close to light streams, they were the only imagery that I could actually look at, that I could actually think, wow, I love this. I would love to paint it. And for me, the light in my painting symbolizes our higher self, what is eternal in life. And the roller coasters, simply put, symbolize our journey through this physical life form here on planet Earth. So this painting, Hang Time, was actually taken from a helicopter ride. And my husband and I went on a helicopter ride at night, thinking we were going to shoot fireworks. That didn't work out, but we did fly over Knott's Berry Farm, and I got these gorgeous images. Like, it's a whole video. So I go through thousands of frames of the video, finding like the ones that are exactly right, that convey, the feeling of moving through space. And this one, I think, looks like a complex Mobius strip, which symbolizes infinity to me. And the other one, Ascension, is based on the same coaster as California Screamin'. They just, Disney has rebranded it. It's called the Incredicoaster now. And so some of the lighting on it has changed. And the original coaster I did with the nighttime imagery back in 2012 was very dark, lots of navy blues, and I had like fireworks going off, and it was going down this tunnel, which to me symbolized the death. And I wanted to do something totally opposite. So this one is rising up, and I call it Ascension. And with the Ascension painting, there's parts of it, most of it is out of focus, and most of it is really blurry. And so with the Ascension, you get the feeling that the roller coaster is kind of constructing itself as it goes along. And it reminds me of how our thoughts become things. So in a way,
true.
yeah,
And
for me, it seems like the roller coaster is like manifesting itself and creating itself as it goes, as we create our own lives.